Hello, YouTubers, and welcome back to General Geekery. Hopefully, you watched the first episode as we went over the 1982 Real American Hero G.I. Joe line, picked out our favorites and least favorites. It's kind of slim pickings that first year, but 1983 was a pretty good year. So, since we've already recorded the whole show, I've had to kind of cut this up to make it into more manageable episodes. So, we join our program already in progress.
Right. So your first figure for 1983.
Gung Ho.
All right.
Choice. Look at the card art. Look at the outfit. Look at the globe and anchor tattoo on the chest that declared I am a Marine. And then if you see his portrayal in the cartoon, how could anybody not love Gung Ho?
All right. My first pick is going to come as no surprise to anyone. Is going to be Torpedo.
I'm shocked.
Right.
I don't know how you got that one by me.
Yeah, exactly. Torpedo was my very first G.I. Joe figure. And as a Navy SEAL, that started my lifelong, I don't know, maybe obsession with Navy SEALs. As anybody that follows my customizing work will know, that's like a huge portion of what I do for make customs of as Navy SEALs.
It is absolutely an obsession. There is no dubiousness about that. I know I've contributed. I helped him name some of his Navy SEAL customs.
Yeah, when I did my box set, you and I spent like, I don't know, like 4 or 5 hours coming up with names for everybody.
And it was absolutely the only part of making that custom box set that he hated, because he discovered that if he's not painting them or putting them together, he does not want to be. He doesn't think naming them is part of the customizing process, where I think it's critical. So I helped him, and he said, I'm not going to name any more of my customs after this. So,
That's right, and I haven't.
Yeah.
All right, your second favorite for this year.
Doc.
Good choice.
Doc, the character of Doc was great. His portrayal in the cartoon is amazing. And I mean, the figure looked cool. I always had a little bit of a MASH vibe from him.
Yeah.
And he was a medical doctor. I mean,
Yes.
that's just, he's not just
a combat medic. He's actual doctor.
He's a doctor. He probably has a license to do a heart transplant if he has to. I mean, he really, I mean, he can do major surgeries to repair the people that get hurt, and he can diagnose things. So,
yes.
Medical doctors are absolutely necessary in the armed forces. They are always officers, as Doc is, and he just he's such an easy second choice. I love Doc. I've always loved Doc, and I still cry that Doc was killed off in issue 109 of Larry Hama's comic book. Over 30 years of trauma right here. Still, he was the first to die in Trucial Abysmia. It was horrible. So
I everything that you say, I would have to agree with. I almost went with Doc for my second pick as well, but growing up in the mountains of Colorado, I got to go with Snow Job. Snow Job was my third G.I. Joe figure ever. My first vehicle was the Polar Battle Bear, so I had Torpedo riding a snowmobile until I got Snow Job, and then I had a lot of fun with just Snow Job and that Polar Battle Bear. So I liked it because they really started to get into the equipment in 1983. So, like Destro came with a backpack that opened and would hold his gun. Doc came with the stretcher that two people could carry, and it also fit onto the to the Dragonfly. Tripwire came with a backpack that had 3 mines in it. They really got into some cool equipment with 83. And Snow Job's no different because he came with skis and poles, and all of his gear clipped into his backpack, which was pretty cool. Plus, he came with the iconic weapon that you see in every G.I. Joe cartoon ever.
Yes, and Snow Job, as you grew up and you got a little older and our minds matured, while our senses of humor didn't, that code name is amazing. I know what it actually refers to, but it is still funny.
Yep. All right, give me your least favorite figure from 83. I have a feeling I know what it is, but
I have a feeling. No, man, I want to make a joke that you'll never see this coming, but Tripwire he sucks. The figure sucks. The character sucks.
yeah, I knew that.
The
I knew that's what
accessories
you were gonna
suck. He sucks in the comic book. He sucks in the cartoon. He is the worst character in the Joe line. The fact that the figure is garbage too, also helps. But I'm biased. It could have a great figure, and I hate that character. Okay, I do wish that there had been a Star Brigade version that there was planned, because I saw the sculpt at the Joe Con or the sketch of it, and he could have been cool. That may have been the only hope Tripwire had to ever not be a car wreck of a character, but nope, it didn't happen. Tripwire sucks.
All right, I'm gonna go with Gung Ho for mine.
What the? Why?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
I got no use for Gung Ho, man.
Huh?
Yeah, I never liked the figure. I didn't like the weapon he came with. I thought he was okay in the comic books. I didn't really give a shit about him in the cartoons.
Huh?
I thought I got no use. The Gung Ho is one of the figures. Is actually the only figure from that year. No, I guess it's not the only figure I've never owned, but it's one of the 2 figures from that year I've never owned and never had any intention of getting.
Huh? Okay. Well, that I did not see coming. Because I've just realized I don't think there might be a reason I don't think we've ever talked about Gung Ho. I just never realized it till now.
That's right. Funny. And see, I
funny.
I wouldn't agree with your Tripwire because, like I was saying, it was my second figure ever. I liked the gear, so that one's got a soft spot in my heart. So you can see that we do not agree on a lot of stuff, which I think makes it more interesting.
Yeah. Well, variety is the spice of life, and things would be pretty boring if everybody agreed on everything.
Yeah. Any hidden gems for you in this one?
Grand Slam. As I mentioned, he got a repaint in 1983. He also came with the Jump jetpack. He was packaged with that, and instead of the Hail Cannon, I think he was packed with in the first wave. But they took the character that basically looked like an alternate version of another character in the first year, and they repainted the pads and they repainted them silver, and suddenly he looked futuristic. It was awesome. I mean, otherwise the figure was exactly the same. Black boots, same black moccasins, same green for the suit, but yeah, he just looks sleek with the silver.
I'm gonna go with Major Blood for my hidden gem. He was a twat in the comic books. He was a twat on the cartoon. But if you read his file card, he is a badass.
Okay, you bite your fucking tongue. You are wrong about his portrayal in both the cartoon and the comic book.
He was a whiny bitch. But if you read his file card, he is a badass.
And he writes poetry.
which I just find amusing.
Yeah, me too.
And plus, you never really figure out what his right arm is for. Is that a like cybernetic arm? Is it something to protect him from the backblast from his rocket launcher that he came with?
In my head, it's always a prosthetic. It's just armored, not robotic. It's just, yeah, he lost an arm and he got a replacement.
And in mine, I've always gone with the kind of Winter Soldier. It's a replacement by full bionic arm. So that's 83 for you.
And that was 1983, a Real American Hero G.I. Joe line. What do you think about our picks? Was JD wrong? Was JD right? Was I right? Comment below on your favorites and least favorites for 1983, and stay tuned for 1984. That kind of sounded Orwellian, didn't it?